Hello, I'm Jensen. What's going on, guys? We pulled up here to Devspeed Motorsports to get a professional alignment and corner balance. This is Formula Drift competitor Farouk's shop, and this is his professional competitive Formula Drift car. Thing is insane. This shop is at Sonoma Raceway, so if you're looking for a real professional alignment and corner balance, make sure you come here, hit them up, tell them I sent you. They'll hook you up. Getting the Drift Cat all ready to go. Adding weights to simulate my weight in the car, because obviously when you balance it, you gotta account for the driver's weight. So kind of give us a rundown of what a corner balance is, because this car has never been corner balanced before.
So corner balance, obviously, you want the car as even as possible. It's not so, you can make adjustments to make it kind of, more weight in the front, more weight in the rear. But that's going to be kind of shedding weight or adding weight to the car.
Okay.
What we're really going to be doing is trying to get the weight kind of cross balance. So because you have coilovers all the way around, everything's adjustable. Kind of works as like a pendulum, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So basically, we're going to be adjusting right front to left rear, left front to right rear. What we're going to be doing is, if it's off a little bit side to side, we can actually raise one side to kind of get that weight off of it, and then lower one side to get the weight, onto the wherever we want.
That makes sense. Yeah, it does. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys as well. But I'm guessing this car is going to feel a whole lot better after it leaves here.
Well, we'll see where it is. Obviously, it's, there's not very many drift Hellcats out there.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out as we go.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you, bro.
Of course.
So yeah, like I said, if you guys are looking for an alignment or corner balance, hit up Devspeed Motorsports.
Yeah, so the good thing about these is I didn't know if these were front rack or rear rack. So it's better for, adding caster, having that kind of drift car feel.
Yeah.
It's obviously S chassis stuff. They come stock rear rack, but there's a lot of modifications that need to be done to get the right feel. Which, B-knuckle, all that stuff, they run, pretty high caster. But it's something that's, I won't say can't be done, but it's harder to be done if it's just a stock rear rack setup. But front rack is a lot better for, my opinion, a better feel. I come from BMW. They're all front rack. I like a lot of caster for, quick, big flick. So, we'll hook it up, see where it's at, and awesome. Hopefully get that feel for you. So you flick this thing pretty good.
Hell yeah. So I'm already learning a lot. It's been like 10 minutes. Rear's mostly stock. Yeah, I need to upgrade to the nice anodized red AAD performance arms. So these are my scales, huh?
These are them. A little dirty, but work good.
Stock from factory, they're supposed to weigh like 46. I don't know if it lost weight with the manual swap or not. That's always been a question. See, there's a lot of parts on here that should be lighter than factory parts. Comment down below what you guys think this thing weighs. More than I thought. Heavy, son bitch. Damn, 4702. That's with me in the car, technically. Minus 170-ish. This thing is a boat, and we've just confirmed it. So it lost a little bit of weight doing the manual swap. It definitely needs some weight reduction, though. Full interior and everything, I've never really focused on losing weight with this car, but I'm pretty sure that's coming soon.
Still a street car, right?
Yeah, for the most part. But so definitely a little front heavy.
Definitely. So we'll figure out exactly what it is. So the rear. So definitely a little front heavy. So like I was talking about that's kind of like, the only way to adjust it is kind of ballast in the car. Obviously, you have a giant V8 in the front. There's not a lot of weight in the rear.
Yeah.
So there's not much, we'll be able to do with the kind of front to rear ratio. But the biggest thing is kind of like I was saying, the side to side. So you can kind of see the left rear is heavier than the right rear. And then the left front is heavier than the right front. So basically, the whole idea is try to get all these corners as close as possible.
Okay.
So that's, with corner balance, obviously, especially with the driver sitting in the car, you don't want a bunch of weight on the left side. So in race cars, they're putting batteries and fuel cells and stuff on the right side. They try to counteract, all the weight that's on the driver's side. But we'll figure out basically what that percentages is, and then we'll basically adjust the coilovers accordingly to kind of see. Hopefully, we can get as even as possible. So left front to right rear is 50.2. We are 49.7 from the left rear to the right front. That's actually very good. Honestly, there's not going to be much more we can get out of this. Like I was saying, the front and rear, obviously, you would like to, depending on what you do with the car. A lot of pro cars now, they have a lot of weight in the rear, so they're actually a little bit more rear weight ballast to try to get that grip to kind of dig out of corners.
So this thing is ice. There's no grip with it.
You got to get a stickier tire for it, it looks like. So
Those are just so expensive in 20s.
but this is actually really good. I did not think it was going to be that close. I'm going to be honest.
What'd you think it was gonna be?
I would assume it's probably going to be like a 55-45 split, which is still pretty good. But this is like, I put Porsches and stuff up here all the time. And those aren't even that close.
All right, that makes me feel better.
Looks like you know how to put suspension together.
Slightly. Not really, but I pretend to know what I'm doing. Talking about getting this car ready for other events, and Winter Jam is coming up, which is here at Sonoma Raceway. And I mentioned that I'm trying to do a dual caliper setup with this car for a handbrake, but with all the suspension arms behind this rotor right here, it's really hard to fit any decent sized caliper back there. But he's kind of convinced me to go inline. I've seen a couple people do it. Parker Mitchell, Cletus's brother, he just did one in his manual swap Charger. I might just go inline setup so I can have a handbrake, because this car with a handbrake is gonna be a huge game changer. Putting it back on the rack to get this alignment started. 10 degrees of casting. What should it regularly be at on a dirt car?
Kind of depends. I'd say usually it's anywhere from like 5 to like 7.5.
Wow.
So
That's high.
a lot of Weissbab is usually around like the 5.5 to 6.5 range. BMWs and stuff, like personally I like higher, so like 7 to 7.5. A lot of cars are different, but that is a lot of caster in this thing. And obviously we don't really have anything to go off of. So I probably wouldn't go higher than that. But I know you said you were kind of feeling some weird stuff in the car.
Yeah.
So it may be worth kind of trying something new. But with kind of what you're explaining, it kind of seemed like there wasn't enough caster in the car. But like I said, I wouldn't go higher than that. Obviously, we don't really know this kit. But for the most part, that should be ripping the wheel out of your hands. In the front toe, there's a lot of toe in. Usually, it's a little bit of toe out, maybe like zero toe. So that could be, kind of part of your problem. Camber is pretty close, but we can change that, maybe add a little bit of front camber. And then the rear camber is pretty close. This one's a little bit negative. This is actually a little bit positive. And then this is super far towed in on the right rear. So nothing that's like, super crazy out of whack, but definitely something we can fix up, make it right.
So I'm sure you guys can tell in a lot of these videos when I'm drifting or sliding the car, it does not have a lot of forward bite or grip in the rear in general. It has to do with the burner tires that I usually run. I never buy like super grippy tires just because they're hella expensive and I'm gonna destroy them anyway. But we're gonna set this car up with a little bit more grip. You said a little more toe in the rear?
A little bit more towing in the rear, hopefully give you some kind of forward drive.
Nice. So hopefully we'll be a little bit faster out there and not just on butter the whole lap. So he just pointed out that this tie rod was a little loose, and the Ackerman settings?
Yeah, so Ackerman settings are off, which is basically, where they sit in the knuckle. But if you look under here, you can see the marks actually moving around. So this one's definitely off. Obviously toe is off because that's, moving around compared to this side. So Basically, that's higher Ackerman. That's what you want. Just not loose. This one is low Ackerman. So I'll take that off. I'll make sure Loctite, torque that down. It'll move this one out to where it should be. So nice. Getting closer.
Finding a lot of stuff that's wrong with this car, but we're getting her all ready to go. Huge shout out to these guys at Devspeed.
To be just 2 spots in here. So this will be, lower Ackerman. This is higher. But because this bolt came loose, it was kind of moving around. So it actually, wore out this whole area here. So I think obviously you're leaving pretty quick. So I can basically put on the outside one. Hopefully, maybe I can get some of that out of there, see if it'll sit in there how it should. But I think that's something that hopefully you can get maybe a new one of these.
Yeah, should be able to.
Just replace it. If you're not doing any like super high speed stuff, it'll be okay.
So like I said in the past couple videos, I'm going to be taking this thing to South Carolina, and AAD is in Missouri, so I might be able to stop by their shop, get that part that is lightweight destroyed, and then get the shims so we can kind of mess around with the caster a little bit, so when I come back, we can really dial in the alignment and get it ready for Winter Jam. The next couple events are just mainly donut pit events, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm not going to be in third gear going super fast. I'll probably be in third gear, but I'm not going to be gaining a bunch of speed. It'll be mostly circle stuff, so not too worried about it, but definitely gonna get that taken care of in the future. Hopefully I can stop by AAD, pick up those parts, and then as soon as we get back to the bay, then come back up here and get it realigned. All right, got this thing all loaded up, ready to go. Huge shout out to the homie PJ for letting me borrow his 3500 Cummins and trailer. He did a bunch of modifications to be able to fit this car onto this trailer, because after throwing on the angle kit, it is so wide it doesn't fit on regular trailers. So if you see how tall this lip is compared to this lip, he cut off this much of the trailer and then added a bunch of rigidity and angle iron and stuff. He made this fender removable so I can remove the fender, open the door, get in and out. Thank you, PJ. Really appreciate you. He set us up for this trip. Yeah, she got a fresh alignment, corner balance, and then all the stuff that Dusty Speed Shop did. So we got to load our spares, our tools, pack this thing, and then hit the road to South Carolina. It's going to be a mission.